coming up in this video, and the subsequent person went to help him, which is the reason they were back there for such a long time. What upsets me is the way that they didn't have any desire to break in or did. Staying home alone may be safe in the middle of the day, but in this story it's totally different. So this video is about Home Alone horror story and true Home Alone scary story. I live in Ohio. This occurred at the point when I was 15. I was home alone. It was around 9 p.m. and I was coming out of the washroom when I heard my front entryway open up and my canine started yapping across the lobby. I saw somebody run past the patio window. What's more, into the terrace. I had the option to make out what he dubiously seemed to be. He was slouched over and had debilitated fair skin. He was wearing all dark and had long chaotic dark hair to some degree covering his face. I went into the lounge room to see what he was continuing. My canine was currently at the front entryway, snarling. Since I hadn't seen the person bring this back, implied he was still someplace in my lawn. I hung tight at the entryway for some time when another more ordinary looking person strolled down to the yard and came straight up to the fence. I don't recall every one of the subtleties, yet our discussion went something along the lines of him saying, "Hello, have you seen my companion?" What's more, I answered, "I believe he's in my terrace." He answered saying, "All right, because I've been following this irregular person all around. I believe he's on drugs and maybe risky." However, this struck me as peculiar. What did he mean by this irregular person when he had pretty recently called him his companion? He immediately left, heading out into the murkiness towards my yard. I ought to likewise refer to that there's a entryway around back, yet that likewise has security bars before it and the entryway was locked. At that point, I hung tight at the just a little, then put down. Around 2 minutes of holding up the person I talked with strolled back onto the yard. Furthermore, I thoroughly searched in through the security bars. He currently had the pale, possibly sedated out the person with him, who was pacing back and forward in an unsettled way. I went to the way to see what he needed. He said, "Hello, sorry man, I just tracked down him. He's extremely apprehensive, and he'd like assuming that you opened the entryway and emerged here to make sure he could see that you're innocuous." I felt the agony in my chest. The dreadful medicated person had halted and was standing unnaturally. As yet, gazing me dead in the eyes, there was an awkward silence. I said nothing, yet I ventured forward to push the French entryway shut, making the subsequent person lurch at me. What's more, push his hand through the bars towards me. I hopped back and forcefully closed the entryway with my foot, shooting it. I called my folks and they called the police. The 2 men had gone. At the point when the police showed up, they told me about a break-in that had happened just down the road under an hour prior. To the extent that I realized they never saw us 2 people, it is almost certainly the first to think back. The fellow ran onto the patio to attempt to find a way in, and the subsequent person went to help him, which is the reason they were back there for such a long time. What upsets me is the way that they didn't have any desire to break in or did. The truth that I was home discouraged them. They believed I should come outside to them, or then again to get into where I was. Working night shifts in stores, it's very difficult for many people to do it, and it may happen in any dangerous cases while working. So guys, check out this video of Walmart horror story.